I can do what I want when I want to do it. I can do what I need when I need to get through it. When I need someone else, can't be too proud for help, but gotta look after myself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what today is. But it's exactly what you make it. So please don't go wasting. And I'll do the same, even if it's raining. How could I complain? And my feels got me feeling some type of way. You always free to take a break. Hope you felt you gotta look after yourself. Sometimes it can get lonely, never living in the moment. When the sun is shining, hope that I'm reminded, like how the clouds keep changing. I'm always steady rearranging, going back to the basics of what a good day is. Of what a good day is. What a good day is. And that's exactly what today is.
All right, it is that time. It is Wednesday, hump day in the building. Y'all know what to do. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can see me. We about to get into it. Shout out to everybody who's in the building. Oh man, we're looking all crispy and clean on the screen already. Welcome y'all. Welcome back to another YouTube live stream and another episode of the morning show. I'm your host Classy Beats of patreon.com/Classy Beats, and we're gonna get into it today. We've got some breaking news when it comes to Jane Doe. Y'all saw the title. She admitted in the recording that she lied. They said they had the recording. We're actually going to hear the recording today, courtesy of ABC. We've also got some news. Tony Buzbee is in some more hot water. And then we'll get into a little bit of news about Keffe D and what's going on with his trial. Some weird things happening there as well. But before I get into it, I got to say what's up to the people in the building, man. Y'all know what time it is. We've got, of course, my awesome, amazing Amy is in here this morning. We got Les Cleaver, my guy in the building. Gigi Lynn's up in here. Jay Buckmaster, Kara Hampton, Trisha Valencia, the Honorable Attorney Kel Bell. Thank you for being here. We've got A Fitz up in the building as well. My dog Rice Street's in here. Libby22 SC Girl is in the building. Good morning. Brown Sugar Babe is up in here as well. We've got Jeannie is in here. I'm gonna mess up your last name, Jeannie. We've got Jeannie Madowski in the building. Jeannie Madowski. I think I said that right. Jeannie Madowski is in the building. Alejandra is in here as well. Good to see you. Thank y'all for being here, man. Real quick before we get started, if you could, please make sure that you like the video on your way in. Not only is it free, not only does it take 2 seconds, but it does help the channel to grow, and it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you guys are enjoying the show, and it shares the video and the channel out with more people. So if y'all could, make sure you take 2 seconds, like the video, show that like button some love, and we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Shout out to who else? Oh, I saw Mo Mac is in here too. Good to see you in the building as well. Man, this is gonna be crazy. I did not think this news was gonna come out. But man, Tony Buzbee and Jane Doe, they messed up, y'all. It's wild. And shout out to Amy for reminding y'all to like the video too. Let's go ahead and get into our topics today. This is going to be a quicker live stream unless we just have some crazy news that breaks. But it all comes down to this. It's finally time. Now, I had said this multiple times before when it came to Tony Buzbee, Jane Doe, when it came to Jay-Z, when it came to Alex Spiro, that Jane Doe's anonymity wasn't going to last for long. Now, we heard some reports and we saw even a court document submitted by one of the private investigators that was able to speak to Jane Doe and said, hey, we talked to her. She said that she lied. She admitted that she lied. And we've got it all on tape. And, you know, we were all like, okay, maybe it's on tape. Maybe it's not. Who knows? We don't know why the investigators were there. They allegedly weren't hired by Jay-Z. But now, according to ABC News, we have the recording here. We're going to listen to it this morning. This was just released a few hours ago. So let's check out what ABC News is saying about Jane Doe and her misstep here. This lady is crazy. Let me know what y'all think about this.
ABC News exclusive interview with Jay-Z's attorney, as the hip-hop superstar is now suing a woman for defamation, saying she falsely accused him of assault. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersi spoke with him. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, George. The woman who accused Jay-Z of sexual assault has already dropped her lawsuit. But now, for the first time, you're going to hear the story behind the bombshell accusation that has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z's lawyer says it should put to rest any doubt about his innocence. This morning, the woman who said she was 13 when Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim and agreeing that Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him. With Jay-Z. Buzbee did? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Do you know why?
No.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording made days after the woman, identified as Jane Doe, permanently dropped her lawsuit against both Carter and Combs last month.
Okay, so this is, I'm going to let the video play. This is the confusing thing about this, though. She's saying that Jay-Z was there, but he didn't participate. That still doesn't even make any sense. So again, this lady is still doubling down on her story. This is wild, man. Absolutely insane.
The people around Mr. Carter wanted to know what happened behind closed doors. And so they asked for her to be interviewed. The interview occurred, and the tape speaks for itself. She says, in no uncertain terms, Mr. Carter did not do this. It is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z, and he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
What is going on here? Tony Buzbee is giving them privileged conversations. This is a phone call Tony Buzbee is having, as ABC put it, his client. What in the world is this man doing? Somebody needs to check on Tony Buzbee and make sure he's okay. This cannot be legal.
Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z, and he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
Oh my gosh.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No.
This is crazy.
I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Buzbee, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing,
Leading.
although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims. She says in a sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these two individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them, and she told them her truth, which was, under no circumstances did Mr. Carter do this. And number two, the only reason he's even involved in this is she was pushed to introduce him by a lawyer.
Does your client know Jane Doe?
No.
Ever met her?
No, Mr. Carter doesn't know Jane Doe, never met Jane Doe. There's no truth to any of this.
Yeah, that's clear. Oh, don't play the music, man.
One of
They're
the
gonna
world's
get me.
best-selling artists with more than 140 million albums sold, Jay-Z is also husband to Beyonce and a father of 3.
Like we from Lagos, man, Samusa reincarnated.
Hey, listen, y'all stop playing Jay-Z's music, man. They gonna get me on YouTube.
The
Dang.
allegations at the outset, he spoke about the painful impact that they had, especially on his kids. How as a father, has he tried to handle this?
It's tough to hear a false lie said about you, spread through the internet, and affecting your children. It's tough on him. It's tough on anybody.
Yeah.
But what he does is he
False
proves
allegations.
himself innocent. Today is hopefully the final chapter in that, and then they're going to move forward. That's what Jay does.
Jay-Z is now suing Jane Doe and her lawyer for defamation.
As he's
Why
well
not let
should.
it lie? The case is gone.
The truth had to fully come out. This person cannot be allowed to sort of hide from the reality that this was a false accusation.
While the accuser's lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Combs was dismissed, Combs still faces a number of other civil claims from other accusers, which he denies. And on Friday, guys, Combs is due in court to plead not guilty to a new indictment in his federal case.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that in a second. The interesting part, and the part that I think has gotten missed about this, is Diddy was a part of this lawsuit, and Diddy got this dismissed as well. So it wasn't just dismissed against Jay-Z, it was dismissed against Diddy, and it was dismissed with prejudice. So this can't be brought again. That's it. Her time is up. She played her cards, whatever. But wow, I'm shocked at every part of this. Not only did they catch her on the recording and she's saying, yeah, which that's not really that surprising. What is Tony Buzbee doing recording his conversations with this client and then giving them to ABC? I cannot believe that. Y'all have to let me know how you feel about this in light of this recent situation with Jane Doe coming out and saying what she said on tape, not only to Tony Buzbee, but to the private investigators. I wanted to do a little bit of a rewind and go back to what she said in an interview with NBC 2 months ago. I still can't believe this happened.
Jay-Z fighting back against a rape accusation. His attorney filing a letter to the judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's story.
You should always advocate for yourself.
It comes after our
lady's
interview with a
insane.
38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Sean Diddy Combs and Sean Jay-Z Carter of raping her when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she went to the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000. The woman says she
Insane.
spoke to Combs' limo driver, who offered her a ride to an after party. She says at the party, she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. It's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed that they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not verify the claims. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. When we asked the woman about the contradictions in a phone interview on Friday, she said she stands by her statements. I have made some mistakes, she said, in remembering what happened 24 years ago. Honestly, what is the clearest is what happened to me. In a statement to NBC News, Sean Carter said, "This incident didn't happen. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory." A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Is any part of you scared coming out against such powerful people?
I'm scared of what could happen, but I'm more afraid of letting it eat me alive from the inside out.
Chloe Malas, NBC News.
Thanks for watching.
That's insane. I don't want to play this next video. The crazy thing about this is with her lying that much. She lied to everybody. I don't know. We need to. I know y'all are saying in the chat, we just need to expose this lady's name at this point. I hope that doesn't happen for her sake, because this lady is clearly sick and needs a lot of help, because it seems like she's just lying to everybody. She lied in the claim. She lied to Tony Buzbee. She lied to the AVA law firm when she was first interviewed. She lied to the private investigators here, maybe, when they were asking her questions about, was Jay-Z involved? And she says, well, Jay-Z was there, but he didn't actually do anything. Okay. And then Tony Buzbee's asking her questions like, hey, did you tell the private investigators that I'm the one who forced you to mention Jay-Z in this? And she said, oh, no, I didn't tell them that, when she got caught on recording doing that. She clearly has a problem. We've talked about some of the issues she's had in her past with mental illness, and she's been charged with certain things. I'm not going to get into that much, but this is insane to see that things are turning out this way. I know Jay-Z, he stood 10 tones down and said, this didn't happen. I wasn't there. Y'all shouldn't believe this. It's a lie. I'm going to prove it. I can't imagine that he knew this is what was going to happen with her coming out this way and lying and lying and lying. At this point, even if Jay-Z's lawsuit goes to court, I can't imagine them calling her as a witness at this point, because she's just lied so much and everything. With the dismissal of the claim, even in this audio, with the NBC interview, now we've got the ABC audio. I mean, it's just a whole mess. But y'all have to let me know what you think about this in the comments and in the chat. Wow. Yeah, you said she's a weirdo. I mean, she's cuckoo. She's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Dang, man. Shout out to Kara Hampton up in here, dropping the 2 bomb. I appreciate you. She says, hump day with Classy and Amy. Happy hump day to you. Happy Wednesday. I want to run this one more time and go back to listen to what she said. So if y'all bear with me for a second.
An ABC News exclusive interview with Jay-Z's attorney, as the hip-hop superstar is now suing a woman for defamation, saying she falsely accused him of assault. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersi spoke with him. Good morning.
Oh man, Mo wants her name to be released.
Jay-Z of sexual assault has already dropped her lawsuit. But now, for the first time, you're going to hear the story behind the bombshell accusation that has since been withdrawn. Jay-Z's lawyer says it should put to rest any doubt about his innocence. This morning, the woman who said she was 13 when Sean Jay-Z Carter and Sean Diddy Combs sexually assaulted her after the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards is heard talking to private investigators about her claim and agreeing that Jay-Z did not assault her.
But Jay-Z you're saying he was definitely there? But he had no part in it, or he was just...
He was there. He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
The woman is also heard saying her lawyer put her up to suing one of the world's most recognizable stars.
It's crazy.
He was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him.
With Jay-Z. Buzbee did?
Yeah.
So she said, yeah, he was the one that kind of pushed me forward with things with him. With Jay-Z, Buzbee did. And she said, yeah. It's crazy.
Do you know why?
No.
ABC News exclusively obtained a minute-long excerpt of the recording made days after the woman, identified as Jane Doe, permanently dropped her lawsuit against both Carter and Combs last month.
The people around Mr. Carter wanted to know what happened behind closed doors. And so they asked for her to be interviewed. The interview occurred, and the tape speaks for itself. She says, in no uncertain terms, Mr. Carter did not do this. It is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z. And he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. No.
Okay. So here's the thing. He asked her if she was on tape, and she said no. But then she says, no, I never said that. And that's not true. So I wonder, did these private investigators say, hey, are you okay if we record you? Is it fine if we record you real quick? Just so we have a record of this. Maybe they said that. We don't know. But she doesn't just say no. She says, no, I never said that.
You on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. No.
Crazy.
I don't. I've never said that.
Okay. They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Buzbee, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing, although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims.
Hey, where is the Honorable Attorney Kel Bell? How is Tony Buzbee able to give ABC this recording of his conversation between him and his client? This is wild to me. I mean, if it were anybody other than Tony Buzbee, I would give them the benefit of the doubt. But Tony Buzbee's made so many missteps during this entire Jay-Z, Alex Spiro battle that I don't know what he's thinking at this point.
She says in a sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these two individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them, and she told them her truth, which was, under no circumstances did Mr. Carter do this. And number two, the only reason he's even involved in this is she was pushed to introduce him by a lawyer.
Yeah, and said KP said she's no longer his client because the case was dismissed. I get that, but ABC referred to her as Tony Buzbee's client. So that's where I'm confused. So I guess that's the only way. The only thing I can think of, says Kel Bell, is that he already withdrew the complaint and didn't represent her anymore. So they must have misspoke when they said his client, because again, I don't read very well, but I do listen pretty well. And they said, so this must be a misspeak by ABC, because why would they call her his client? Maybe he should have said his former client.
This, it is effectively a lie. And the only reason Mr. Carter is even involved in this is because she was pushed to involve him, pushed to include him by a lawyer.
The accuser's lawyer, Tony Buzbee, called it a blatant lie that he pushed Jane Doe to sue Jay-Z, and he sent us this recording of a phone call with his client.
They say that,
with his client,
they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. No. I don't. I've never said that.
Why would she even pick up the phone if he called?
They also say that you told them, and they have it on tape, that I, Tony Buzbee, told you to came up with this plan and told you to say that Jay-Z assaulted you so you would get more money.
No.
Jane Doe said in a court filing, although I ultimately chose not to pursue them, I stand by my claims. She says in a sworn declaration that she felt intimidated and terrified at being confronted by these two individuals on my doorstep. Was she coerced in any way?
Of course not. They did not coerce her, promise or threaten her in any way, shape, or form. She voluntarily met and spoke to them, and she told them her truth, which was, under no circumstances did Mr. Carter do this. And number two, the only reason he's even involved in this is she was pushed to introduce him by a lawyer.
Does your client know Jane Doe?
No.
Ever met her?
No, Mr. Carter doesn't know Jane Doe, never met Jane Doe. There's no truth to any of this.
All right. They're going to get me for playing that music. This is wild, man. What is going on with Jane Doe? What's going on with Tony Buzbee? Kel Bell said she agrees. She thinks they misspoke. Okay. And I almost want to read through this and see if they have any extra information, but I think they just paraphrased what all was said in the video. She voluntarily met, spoke. The truth will The truth had to fully come out. This person cannot be allowed to sort of hide from the reality that this was a false accusation. That's what Spiro said. We got another super chat in here. Shout out to KP, my dog, in here with his 10th super chat. Appreciate you, man. KP says, at this point, her name needs to be named for the safety of the public from her lying ass. Being Jane Doe, she could sue someone smaller. And as we saw before, she has sued several people and failed. I think they said it was three or four. That's happened before. She's got other issues she's had going on in the past. Oh, man. What a mess, KP. What a mess. Because I would not be surprised if she didn't sue somebody else. We can't find her name through a Freedom of Information Act request. If the judge ruled that she would be able to remain anonymous, then I don't believe we can. At this point, I think she is saying whatever people want her to say. She's clearly not right in the head. Nobody is going to get any clear answers out of her. Mental illness is real. I think you're right. She is clearly needs some help. How can I hear the other recording saying she lied? Jay-Z can sue her, but she probably ain't got no money. How do you sue people with no money? For real question. You can sue them. It's just, what are you trying to get? What are you going to receive as restitution? And here's the problem too. With the lawsuit, the biggest issue is not her not having any money. I think the biggest issue she runs into, well, I mean, that is the biggest issue. The biggest issue is not her having money to give Jay-Z a payout. The issue is her not having money to go through the legal proceedings. So you think Tony Buzbee is going to represent her after this? Nope. I mean, who's going to want to represent her in this lawsuit? So she's either going to end up in jail. She's missing court dates. She's going to go and represent herself. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. Amy said, I'm not going to read that out loud. She better stay anonymous for her own safety and mental health since she's already cuckoo. Yep. You can sue if they have a job. You'll get money out of their paycheck. Yeah, but I don't want to speak that. But I don't even know. Is it going to get to that point? What lawyer is going to take this lawsuit on? Like if she had to pay $20,000 and she ain't got that type of money, they will pull it out of her paycheck. Yeah, but you got to get to the end of the court proceedings first. And then there's the legal fees that go on top of that. So I don't know, man. Shout out to Leona in the building. Good to see y'all in here, man. Thank you to everybody that's liked the video so far. We got over 400 of y'all up in here. If you could, please make sure you like the video on your way in. We're not done with Tony Buzbee, y'all. We gotta. Amy said maybe it was pro bono. Oh my gosh. Amy is a menace. That is hilarious. All right. Well, speaking of Tony Buzbee, we've got some more news about Tony Buzbee, and it looks like he's still not off the hook. As we discussed in previous videos, Tony Buzbee got in trouble with the Southern District of New York, not only in the instance with Jane Doe and his lawsuit against Jay-Z and Diddy, but in 20 plus other instances because he was moving in the Southern District of New York like he was supposed to be there without being admitted to sign all the papers that he was signing. So now judges and more judges are starting to catch wind of what Tony Buzbee was up to. And Diddy said he's going to take a turn and try and figure out how many of these lawsuits he can get thrown out because Tony Buzbee didn't do what he was supposed to do. So what is this most recent judge saying? Shout out to Megan Cuniff for this over on X. She says another judge is taking issue with attorney Tony Buzbee's lack of admission to the Southern District of New York. Let's read what they say. We've got John Doe versus Diddy. Ronnie Abrams, United States District Judge. What does the judge say? It has come to the court's attention that Anthony Buzbee, who signed the complaint and several other filings on behalf of plaintiff, and then they have the complaint there, has not been admitted to practice in the Southern District of New York. Moreover, although Mr. Buzbee was warned several weeks ago in a parallel case that this conduct violated the local civil rule 1.3, he failed to bring the issue to the court's attention. No later than March 18th, Mr. Buzbee shall file a letter explaining why he failed to notify the court about the issue earlier and proposing next steps to rectify. They're not giving this man any breaks. So now, as we know, Tony Buzbee, he made himself out to be the Diddy killer. I don't even know if I should say that, but he was put his 800 number out there saying, oh, we've got hundreds and hundreds of cases we're going to be going after Diddy with. All in the meanwhile, he was not admitted to practice in the Southern District of New York. Messed up. So now we're having to backtrack. We got Judge Ronnie Abrams here is saying that by the 18th, which is next Tuesday, I need a letter explaining why this happened. I guarantee in that letter, he's going to blame what happened with Jay-Z and this whole lawsuit, because one of the reasons he wasn't admitted into the Southern District of New York is not necessarily because anything that he did wrong, but it's because the judge saw how he was moving and he maybe put the cart before the horse and he wasn't admitted. So he started signing papers. As the process was ongoing, the judge said, hey, I don't want any parts of this, Tony, so we're not going to admit you. Also, we got to look into what lawsuit that's being referenced here by Judge Abrams. So the lawsuit is against Diddy and several of his companies, right? It says Buzbee represents a man who says Diddy assaulted him at a party for his Ciroc vodka in 2022. And we're actually going to get into the lawsuit here. I've got the full lawsuit. Let me make sure I put it on the screen so y'all can see it. And we're going to see what actually happened in this lawsuit and what's at stake for this alleged victim. So I just want to read the introduction and then we'll actually go down to the factual background. So in the initial lawsuit, we have John Doe versus Diddy and his other companies. This case seeks compensatory and punitive damages for assault. The assault took place at a Ciroc vodka party in LA at an event hosted by the liquor brand and Diddy, who claimed to hold an ownership stake in the brand and served as its celebrity spokesperson. The conduct described herein is shockingly typical of how the defendant Diddy conducted himself for many years. Many individuals and entities facilitated and conspired with this abhorrent conduct. Diddy is believed he was above the law and could do whatever he wanted. He is not and cannot. All right. And then they've got a little background for decades. Diddy's been doing this. Here are his businesses and connections. And then we're going to skip down here to the factual background and actually see what happened and what went down in the situation and what's at stake because Tony Buzbee failed to do what he's supposed to do. What do we have? In or around 2022, during a promotional party for the launch of Combs or for Diddy's Ciroc vodka drink, Diddy assaulted the plaintiff, a businessman from the LA area and owner of a family business specializing in renting luxury cars and jewelry. Over the previous years, plaintiff had established a business relationship with Diddy, who was a customer of his rental business, often renting vehicles or jewelry for himself or those in his entourage. Combs personally invited the plaintiff to the Ciroc party. The plaintiff accepted based on he and Combs' relationship. Combs told the plaintiff that many other high-profile guests in the music and entertainment business would attend the party. The plaintiff saw the party as an opportunity to further promote himself and his business. Makes sense. Once at the party, the plaintiff noticed many high-profile guests. The plaintiff took the photographs below, which shows Diddy on the couch discussing the Ciroc business with other high-profile individuals. Multiple bottles of Combs Ciroc vodka can be seen on the table. And here's the picture. Man, he was in a room with some elites there. During this event, Diddy instructed the plaintiff to join him in Combs' private office. The plaintiff went into the office where the two were alone. The plaintiff assumed Combs or Diddy wanted to have a discussion about business. However, the plaintiff immediately realized Diddy was intoxicated and acting strangely. Diddy began awkwardly moving closer to the plaintiff. As he did so, Diddy removed his pants and exposed his you-know-what. Lord. Diddy continued to move closer and then grabbed the plaintiff's you-know-what through his pants, squeezing them in a rough and inappropriate manner, we'll say. The plaintiff was shocked and disoriented, frozen momentarily, and did not know how to respond to the weirdly inappropriate advance by Diddy. The situation escalated until another individual, professional athlete A, oh my God. We got OBJ in here again. It's OBJ. Oh man, what is going on here? Professional athlete A, who has not been named, I guess, maybe Tony Buzbee got some money out of him, entered the office and intervened, which ended Diddy's assault of the plaintiff. At this moment, the plaintiff escaped from Diddy and left the office. After escaping the office, the plaintiff left the party to return home. To help the plaintiff document the encounter, the plaintiff took a photograph of the Ciroc vodka Diddy gave to him at the party that Combs ultimately assaulted the plaintiff. It is shown below. Okay, so there's the picture. As a result of this incident, the plaintiff has suffered significant emotional distress and trauma. He continues to deal with the psychological and emotional consequences of the events that happened in Combs' private office. All right, so we got the causes of action. Obviously, Diddy, you can't be out there grabbing other people's stuff. And this is respectfully
Stop the cap.
Submitted by the Buzbee law firm. You got Tony Buzbee and the gang. So again, this is what's at stake for this John Doe. If there's an issue with Tony Buzbee's admission again, and he doesn't clear things up with the judge coming up next Tuesday, there's going to be problems with this entire claim. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. I can imagine that this seems more realistic, and this is something I can actually see happening, but we'll have to wait and see what the evidence shows and if this is one of the ones that Diddy settles or it moves forward. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments and in the chat. Wow. I know y'all in there. Y'all are in the chat cutting up, man. And thank you again to everybody who's liked the video so far. Appreciate y'all. Maybe it was pro bono. It's crazy. Those would be pennies to Jay-Z. He don't want her money. He wants her to tell the darn truth. I don't think she knows how. Good morning, Taco Tuesday. Well, that's how they do it here in Iowa. You just have to find out their job, and if you win your case, you get your money out their paycheck. Yeah, they'll garnish your wages for a lawsuit. That's crazy. Dang, he effing up. I don't know what Tony Buzbee's doing. Bugsme just needs to turn in his bar card now. Tony Buzbee needs to be disbarred, period, point blank. I never want to see Tony Buzbee practice again. This seems like such a simple stuff he ain't doing. I agree. Amy says this man's going to get disbarred and end up on an infomercial for bug spray called Tony Buzbee. Oh man, I don't know. Tony Buzbee might be a modern day Better Call Saul, because he's had his moments where he's shined, where he shined. He's had his major cases that he's won. He's been practicing for a long time. And this is just, I mean, what a way to have your career go. Being on this big of a stage, going up against this big of a defendant, and just taking a major L. Sheesh. That's sad, man. Why is he always exposing that little... I gotta read these comments before I read them out loud. Hey, listen, y'all do not know what Diddy's got going on. Don't say that. Oh my gosh, at this point we need to sue him for emotional distress. I agree. Oh my gosh. Who said that? Ducky, why did you type that in the chat? Oh my gosh. Mitt says he watched the assault. Jane Doe doesn't know what's going on. Who knows? Yeah, Buzbee always seems to have something up his sleeve, but this is wild. Might be some good bee spray. Buzbee. Tony, but come on, Amy. Jeez. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's a weird thing going back to Jane Doe too. She's saying that Jay-Z didn't actually do anything. The story's changing now. Jay-Z didn't do anything. He was just there. So there meaning he was at the party. There meaning he was in the room. There meaning what? We have no idea yet. Also, shout out to, we got the 10 bomb in here. Man, K, I'm gonna mess up your name. I'm just gonna say K Hype. Is it Kai? I think it's Kai Hype. Shout out to Kai Hype. Says one man grabs another man's junk and you say you're surprised. And you say you're surprised. What does that say about you? One man grabs another man's junk and you say you're surprised. What does that say? I'm missing what you're saying. Are you saying I say I'm surprised? You gotta clarify there, Kai. But thank you for the super chat either way. I appreciate it. One man grabs another man's junk and you say you're surprised. What does that say about you? I don't know what you mean. What did Ducky say? Ducky said, why is he always exposing that little thing? Ducky, come on, Ducky. That's crazy. Yeah, Kai, you gotta clarify that for me. But thank you for the super chat. Maybe you're saying one man grabs another man's junk and you say you're not surprised. What does that say about you? What does that say about Diddy that I'm saying I'm not surprised? Zahir says, sounds like, sorry to say it, a white people grab. White people grab butts and all kinds of crap, standard procedure for them. So yes, you shouldn't be surprised if you one of those guys. What are y'all on? It's crazy. Oh man. Okay, shout out to Kai. He says that's fighting actions. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't get your initial comment. One man grabs another man's junk and you say you're surprised. Are you y'all are wild, man. Are you saying that he shouldn't even let him get that close? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I would have had the door open. I don't know who it is. I wouldn't put myself in that situation in the first place, but I don't know. You see clothes start coming off. You've already been in that room too long. It's like, hey, man, hey, you good? I'll step outside. I don't know what you got going on here, but okay, Kai. I get what you're saying. Yeah, he said, Kai's saying, hey. Why'd you even let it get that far? You see the shirt come off. It's like, okay, hey, maybe, he was in the boardroom. It was getting a little hot and you take your shirt off in your office. Cool. All right. You start unbuckling the belt. I'm like, yo, hey, what? I'll give you some privacy. We're good. You gotta hide your cheeks when Diddy's around. My Lord. Hey, yo. And y'all said John Doe is white. Worse than Buddy walking out of Dwight Howard's bathroom. Oh my gosh. I can't. I gotta stop reading these comments. All right, let's get into our next topic, because y'all are wilding, man. I can't be reading some of these comments on YouTube. They're gonna kick me up out of here. We've got some updates on Keffe D. Let me see. I've got a picture of Keffe here somewhere. If not, we might just have to put up one of my favorite judges, Judge Whitaker, in the building. But Keffe D is back in the news and has some interesting stuff going on here. Let's just get Judge Whitaker. Or we'll get Diddy up there, because Diddy's connected in some ways. Yeah, shout out to Kai, man. Amy says, if I take my clothes off, you stepping outside? Oh, listen, that's a different story. I saw that video a while ago. Uh-oh. Yeah. Two totally different stories. Gotta hide your cheeks when Diddy's around. All right, I'm not reading these comments anymore. Y'all are tripping. Let me go back and see if I could find this. Here we go. All right, so let's see what's. I said inside, not outside. You stepping inside. Oh my God. Hey, yo. So we've got some more updates on what's going on with Keffe D. As many of you may know, we covered this a little while back. His trial was somehow, or for some reason, mysteriously postponed. We haven't gotten too much information on why, but Keffe D was supposed to start his trial this month, but now it's been postponed until next year, which is odd. So we're going to check out this video from Law and Crime. It looks like Keffe D is giving some more insight into what's going on, maybe what happened behind the scenes and why they had to postpone things. So let's check it out.
Keffe D's trial was pushed from March of this year to February of next year. I'm joined now by criminal defense and civil rights attorney Tyler Bailey. Tyler, thank you so much for joining me today, and great to see you as well, too. What's your reaction to Keffe D speaking out in a TV interview, even as he awaits trial?
Yeah, he's wild for that.
For him. I think that he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble speaking too much from his book or whatever he put out there before he was actually charged, and now speaking to the media here. I just don't think it's going to go over well for him.
Yep, February.
And do you think it was kind of a Hail Mary attempt to kind of gain public sympathy in a way? And are you surprised his lawyer even allowed him to give an interview?
Sometimes people forget that lawyers, we do actually work for our clients, and sometimes our clients want us to do something, or they want to do something that we may disagree with. I think in this situation, it was a Hail Mary, and I think he feels like he's a good messenger. I don't know if it's a spotlight that he's intrigued by, or if he thinks he can actually help his case. But I think he hurt his case by his demeanor. If they play those videos in the actual trial of this case, I don't think it's going to help him. It was a Hail Mary, and I don't think it was caught or received.
Yeah, because I can kind of see a prosecution or the prosecution team now just kind of playing those previous YouTube interviews and then kind of compare and contrast that to the ABC interview he just gave and seeing how a jury could kind of react to that. Definitely not doing any favors for Keffe D. And much of the meat of that ABC interview was Keffe D claiming that he's innocent. He claims he wasn't there in Vegas the night of the shooting. He claims he didn't even write or read the memoir where he said he was there in the car. What are your thoughts, given for years and years?
Yeah, Keffe, come on, man. Like, he has been, I don't want to say bragging, but he gave very great detail about being in the car, who took the shots, what happened, and now he's trying to backtrack. Hey, come on, man.
He had said he was there. He was the one who passed his nephew the gun used to kill Tupac, and now he's just saying, I'm innocent. I'm not even there.
Not be there now that he's actually facing charges for the murder of Tupac, and I don't think it helps him. Any juror who hears this case, they're going to think, Well, he said he was there for years. He's been on YouTube saying he was there. Now that he's facing charges, he wasn't there. It doesn't help him. If he has a strong alibi, we'll see what happens. He'll need to corroborate that with more than just saying, I was not in Las Vegas the night that Tupac Shakur was killed, when he has said for years that he was there.
Years.
And it's surprising too, because now he's saying that
Almost
20
bragging.
or 30 people could testify he wasn't in Vegas the night of the shooting. But at the same time, he's not naming any type of names of who can corroborate that alibi, nor was that alibi even kind of brought into the picture, into the conversation, even until a couple weeks ago. So what's your reaction again to this kind of about face that Keffe D is doing, where now he's pulling 20, 30 people out of the woodworks, it feels like, just to kind of corroborate that he said, to corroborate his story that he wasn't there.
Yeah, and not to mention that the alleged shooter in this instance is no longer with us. The alleged shooter is dead. So I don't even know how he could say, oh yeah, there's people that are going to say that I wasn't even there. Man, just let it go. Get this over with already.
His defense has to do something. He's not just going to walk in there and plead guilty. I just think that him saying that 20 or 30 people can testify that he was in Los Angeles 30 years ago.
That's
now, right? That's going to be hard. What 20 or 30 people are these people who are going to testify in this trial? Are they credible witnesses? And if he had a strong alibi, this would have been something that his defense would have brought to the prosecution early in the case to try to nip things in the bud.
Exactly.
Yeah, you would think they would have brought it at one of his first bond or bail hearings, for that matter, too. And there's been a lot of controversy kind of surrounding the agreement Keffe D made with investigators back in 2008, that he would tell them everything he knew about what happened that night in Vegas in exchange that it wouldn't be used against him in court. And you can kind of argue there that that might be the reason that he's been just so vocal. But that was back in 2008. And he's given a lot of interviews since, admitting to him being there, him being in the car, him passing his nephew that weapon there. But what are your thoughts on that deal? And do you think it'll be an issue come trial?
Well, I don't think it's going to be an issue for the trial of this case, because it probably would not be brought into evidence or allowed into evidence. The only thing that will be brought into evidence are going to be the facts of this case. And of course, things may be brought up on rebuttal by the defense. But regarding the proffer agreement, it's something that could come up during an appeal. So many may remember when Bill Cosby was convicted for the sex crimes that he was accused of committing. He, of course, vehemently denied that he did those, but his conviction was ultimately overturned because he himself entered into somewhat of a proffer agreement with the government. So this could help him out later on if he's convicted first, and then while he goes through the appeal process, it could be grounds for a new trial or maybe grounds for overall vacating of his conviction.
That'd be interesting if it even gets to that point. That would be a stunning development there. What do you think, as we're still awaiting for trial, what do you think that the trial could look like? Do you think that prosecutors have enough to make their case, given that the murder was almost 30 years ago now?
It's going to be a difficult case for the prosecution, because in cases like this, you're going to have people who don't remember things. You may have witnesses who also have criminal charges themselves. So it's really going to be who can present the cleanest case for the jurors to believe. I don't think Keffe D is the best witness. He's already given so many statements, so I'm pretty sure he'll take the stand at trial. He's going to open himself up for a lot of attacks. And then with his defense of having all these people who could testify towards his alibi, are they going to be credible witnesses? Are they going to have checkered past? Because the jurors are going to want to really figure out which side's the cleanest, which is the more logical outcome of what happened to Mr. Shakur that evening. And I can see them voting pretty easily for the prosecution here, just by the length of time and all the statements by Keffe D, and now his convenient amnesia so late in the game.
Yeah, and we know Keffe's going to talk. He can't help himself. He's been talking this whole time. Allegedly made money off of a memoir that he didn't write. I don't know. Anyway, so you all may be asking an important question. Well, what did he say? What interview are they talking about that he had recently? Let's go ahead and get into this ABC interview from Keffe D.
The man charged in Tupac Shakur's murder is speaking out from behind bars for the first time. Dwayne Keffe D Davis insists he was 300 miles away when the rapper was shot. Now he's pointing the finger at someone else. Chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky has this ABC News exclusive.
We ain't meant to
No, don't play that. Come on, don't do that. Don't do that.
Shakur nearly 30 years ago became one of the nation's most notorious unsolved murders.
Hey, Keith, Metro Police, come over here.
Then in 2023, a breakthrough when prosecutors charged this man with ordering the hit, the only person arrested for Shakur's murder, who now tells ABC News authorities have the wrong man.
I'm innocent. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
61-year-old Dwayne Keffe D ABC.
Part of this is true, and I think he's kind of stuck by this story when it comes to who fired the shots. I don't think that I've heard from Keffe D that he was the one that actually fired the shots. But as many of us know, if you're in the car, if you're a part of the conspiracy, if you ordered the hit, if you're the getaway driver, you can be held accountable to just as much of the law as the person who pulled the trigger or committed the crime. It's just the way it goes. And now if they're saying he ordered the hit, well, nobody's saying that you took the shot, Keffe, but they're saying you said, hey, he was messing with my nephew. Let's go get him.
No evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas.
61-year-old Dwayne Keffe D Davis says the night of the murder, September 7th, 1996, he was in Los Angeles, 300 miles from the Las Vegas intersection where Tupac Shakur was gunned down.
Prove that I orchestrated this. You know what I'm saying? Your key witness orchestrated this. They top witness is the lead suspect.
The defense pointing to someone else, Reggie Wright Jr., a former cop and security guard for record mogul Suge Knight, who was driving the car Tupac was in the night he was shot. Wright has denied any involvement and has said it bothers me because I was in charge of possibly protecting this young man. And prosecutors say Davis incriminated himself in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend, and in this on-camera interview.
You said the shots came from the back. Who shot Tupac?
The keeper for the code of the streets. It just came from the backseat, bro.
Davis now says his previous admissions connected with the shooting were made under duress and for money, claiming he did not write his own memoir and was fed information by police.
I shouldn't have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have said nothing. And I'm innocent, man.
Prosecutors declined to respond directly to Davis's new claims. They say their case is strong and they expect a conviction.
Oh, God, y'all got to stop playing that music, man.
Selling rap artists of all time, 75 million albums to date. Most of those sales posthumously, thanks in part to hits like California Love.
I can't mute that one.
Davis's arrest followed years of fan-driven theories that an intense rivalry between East Coast and West Coast rappers sparked the fatal attack on Shakur.
And I'm being held against my will. I'm supposed to be out there enjoying my twilight. God got my back, and God will see me through this.
Huh? Okay.
The judge has not yet weighed the defense's claim of a different suspect, and right now Diane Davis is scheduled for trial in February. Diane?
Yep, and that is going to be February of 2026. So we're not going to see Keffe D anytime soon. He said God's got his back, so y'all got to let me know what you think about that in the comments and in the chat. Wow. Yeah, California Love. That's a classic. Libby said, I love that song. Yeah, me too. Don't bring him into this after decades of your lies, Keffe. No, yeah, no. He made all that money off of a memoir he didn't write. All these interviews on YouTube telling his story, speaking his truth. And now he wants to backpedal. Please stop it. Come on, man. So this isn't the last we're going to hear of him. This trial is going to be interesting. I think these aren't federal charges. Oh, man, from what I remember. I got to double check and look. So hopefully we'll be able to see the court proceedings from that, but it'll be a while. It'll be a while before we get there. I also saw a couple of super chats up in here. Thank you to the super chats, y'all. Shout out to, we got a new timer in the building. Leafy Queen is up in here with the 5-bomb. Thank you for the super chat. Leafy Queen says, new subscriber. Classy, I love it over here. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the family, Leafy Queen. It's good to have you in here. Make sure you stick around. Thanks for subscribing as well. All right, let me see. What else are y'all saying? I think someone will end this before the trial starts. Man, oh gosh, I don't want to say that. I mean, Suge is holding up, so maybe Keffe can make it too. Mainly because of its tie to Death Row Records and other beef surrounding it. Brown Sugar Babe, you could definitely be right. I would like to believe, like I said, since Suge is in there, it seems to be holding up okay as much as you can. Maybe, but dang. I think a lot's going to come out when it comes to this trial. And with Diddy behind bars, I mean, maybe, I don't want to get into that. I'm not going to have that conversation. I'm going to let y'all talk about it in the comments. Classy, listening all the way from Jamaica. Wow. Your point, keep up the good work. Jamaica's loves you. Oh man, shout out to my Jamaicans over there. Appreciate you, Trevor. Thank you for being here. I think you meant to say you're on point, because we don't miss over here. Thank you so much, Trevor. Thank you for being here in the building. I appreciate you. All right, I know it was a little bit of a short show today, but first I have to thank every single one of y'all that liked the video. Over 900 likes, and we still got 500 of you in the building. We are going to be back tomorrow. Y'all know we don't miss. We're going to have some more stories from you. We've got some news that we're working on from Fannie Willis. I told y'all I'm going to try and get Tom Fitton up here from Judicial Watch. So make sure you stay on the lookout for that. And then we've got some exciting things coming up on future shows. So I'll keep y'all in the know on what's going on there. If you could, please make sure you like the video on your way out. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any time we go live, which, speaking of, we will be live tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of the Song of the Night Live. So if you guys enjoy hearing independent music from some of the artists who are right here in the community, make sure you tune into the show tonight. You'll also get a chance to vote during our Versus segment and decide which artist is your favorite from the Versus and who you think should move forward and claim that next spot in the season 11 tournament. All right. Appreciate y'all. Go subscribe to my dog, Rice Street. Rice Street just started his YouTube channel, and he's already, he should be over not 900. He's going to get there though. I speak it in the name of Jesus, over 200 now. Are you over 200, Rice Street? Oh, almost. Rice Street is at 167 subscribers. Y'all go show him some love and subscribe. We're going to be hearing some great content from Rice Street too. I appreciate y'all. You know what to do. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Keep growing, keep pushing, keep it classy. We gone. Peace. We on the map. Livingston, Texas. You know what time it is.